Oh, this is part two of today's video. Apologies for the cutoff from the first video. Uh, had some technical difficulties, but finally got it back up. Um, we I was digging into we're going into lawn politics. I could talk forever and go off on so many tangents on lawn politics, but at the end of the day, we're in a turbulent time in our country as far as politics, and I think the big thing is we need people with the mindset that they're not incumbent on making decisions based on a group of political parties. Uh, there's no possible way that every politician believes every single thing that their platform, that their party believes down to the letter. There's no possible way. And even at that, if there was uh, there even if they did believe every single word of what their political party believes, I guarantee you their constituents do not believe that. There's no possible way. And as a representative for people, your constituents hold the last word. And if something that you need to vote on is best for your party but not best for your people, you vote for your people, not the party. And that's where we need to, get to term limits. Congress should have term limits. Their argument, almost everyone's argument in Congress, especially the ones that have been in for such long. Oh well, we do have term limits. They're elections. It is. We have got far too many people in it for the power, in it for the fame, in it just to have the title. There used to be a time when people became congressmen, became presidents, got into public service because it was a calling to do something greater for the people. I feel like right now there are far too many people in Congress, in our government, that do it for other reasons other than serving the public. Anyway, let's go into something. So, watched the movie Nosferatu a few days ago, and it was great. I'm a big fan of vampire movies. Um, I Nosferatu was the one of the was old school black and white silent film when it first came out. I don't know the specifics a year. I could probably look it up, but um, they did a great job with it. And I'm being a huge fan of Bram Stoker's Dracula. Obviously, the Bram Stoker's Dracula, goes off of the same storyline, but they did a great job, man. And Johnny Depp's daughter is the lead actress in it. Fantastic, fantastic job. But I mean, Johnny Depp's daughter, like, I mean, born and raised in that kind of environment, surrounded by celebrities, actors, actresses. It's, I guess it's not surprising. Um, I didn't know what to expect, really. I mean, it got good reviews, but Bill Skarsgård, uh, the guy who played Nosferatu, fantastic. I mean, but he's proven it already to play that kind of role. Um, you know, he was Pennywise the clown in It, the new one. And then he, one of my, I'm a big fan of the John Wick movies. John Wick 4, he played the Marquis, did a fantastic job with that. I mean, he's an amazing actor. So it was a great movie altogether. Had to pause it like a billion times because me, we have our girls, and every time our little one comes up, I had to pause it so that we don't miss anything, and so we're gonna watch it some more. Hopefully, one of these days we'll be able to watch it all the way through. We'll see. Um, 1923 came out, the new season. God, I love those movies. Taylor Sheridan has done such a great, the shows. Taylor Sheridan has done such a great job with Yellowstone, 1923, 1883. Fantastic work. Hopefully it continues. It's not only history being discussed, but history of the United States. It really shines a light on how terrible we were to the Native Americans in this country. Really, you see the priests and the religious people in these shows, and they were nasty. How do you call yourself a person of God and treat another human being that way? It's amazing to me. Like I said, I'm not religious fanatic at all. But I was raised a certain way. I feel like the way I was raised, the way what I took away from my time, or from Catholic teachings, is everybody, you treat your fellow man well, with respect. You know, it, and it's funny, in the last episodes, they were talking about, the priest actually had a moment. It was a very short moment, but he was all like, talking about interracial marriage, and the marshal that he was with and his buddy started laughing when he was talking about, oh, interracial marriage has been happening in like Europe, France, everywhere else in the world for hundreds of years, and they started laughing at it. And it's just, it as much as I love our country, the history of just that kind of thinking compared to the way the rest of the world has been living, we are way behind. Way behind. I mean, race relations, I don't think I need to really go into that, is terrible. And they don't even see that over there outside of, obviously fascism, Nazism, that mentality brings it all into the fold, and that's a global problem. But yeah, it really brings to light the issues that we as Americans, even in modern times, deal with 100 years later from 1923, and ultimately the way we treated, and probably still treat, those that were here, and those the Native Americans whose families just lost everything, got everything taken from them. It's a hard look, but at the end of the day, it's stuff like that I really enjoy. I everybody needs to know history. You need to know it. You need to understand it so that we don't repeat it. So, but an amazing series. it has been an amazing series. From what I understand, they're doing another uh, Yellowstone season 6. Fantastic. You know, the way Yellowstone ended, with the departure of Kevin Costner, I think that definitely left a hole. But he did a fantastic job throughout the Yellowstone series, and I thought the way that they did the quick death, but then integrated it into for the second part of season 5, the way they did it was great. And you know I don't want to spoil anything for those that haven't seen it, but definitely check it out. I thought what they thought was going to be the end of Yellowstone, the way they ended it was great, but still opened the door for them to roll into getting approvals for season 6. And the fact that they got approved for season 6, a ton of people obviously were asking for it, were watching it. Amazing. Amazing. Before I end, um, man, we need, uh, again, I just don't, I'll end on, you know, a political dialogue in that I don't understand why either party hasn't done this. Private ranchers should not get taxed. If you're private ranching, no taxes. You're providing food for the rest of the country and for yourselves. You shouldn't get taxed. Private farmers, private ranchers should not get taxed. No taxes. It's hard work. And you're providing that service for others. The perception is that the big reason why Democrats and Republicans don't put policy forth like that is because they are both beholden to the corporate machine. And this goes into a whole bunch of other things like political campaigns and the money needed to run political campaigns. We have to get money out of politics. Have to do it. Term limits and money out of politics. Money is not speech. If money, I know that the Supreme Court said it with the Citizens United decision. If money were speech, then what you're saying is that corporations and billionaires, their speech matters more than the average American. We need to get money out of politics, and we need term limits. Private ranchers, private farmers should not pay taxes. Veterans should not pay taxes. I'd be curious if legislation or if it got put into the Constitution that private ranching, private farmers, veterans do not get taxed. It's already, in this day and age, it's hard to join the military. There's so many standards, and it's not about quantity anymore. It's been about quality because of the technology that they deal with now. So it would be I wouldn't be shocked if we saw a huge influx of of people wanting to get into farming and ranching if a policy like that got introduced. And really, it needs to be bipartisan. I mean, the political party stuff has gotten out of control. The two-party system is not working. there needs to be an understanding that if you're providing for the masses, you don't get taxed. And I'm talking specifically about ranchers, which is hard work. Private ranchers, private farmers, veterans should not get taxed. When military members go over to certain areas in the world, they get combat pay and they don't get taxed. Just for having served your country, you should not have to pay taxes. Because it's not an easy life and you could lose your life. And if you're willing to do that, shouldn't the country give something in appreciation for that? You know what? You served in the military. Thank you. Your reward, you don't have to pay taxes. You survived 4+ years. No taxes. I'd even go so far as to say the spouse of someone who died serving this country. Your husband, your wife gave their life for this country. We're very sorry for your loss. It won't be in vain. No taxes. I mean, with the low percentage of people that have served this country, are veterans, how much money is the government really losing out on? At the moment, because corporate farming and ranching has basically taken over and is still absorbing private farms and ranches, in the moment, how much are you really losing in taxes? There's no possible way it's significant enough for a representative not to make a good argument, or representatives or the government to make that good argument to be all like, without stating, oh, well, they wouldn't even be able to say it. But they would no longer get money from corporations, corporate farming, corporate ranching. They would no longer get money from those corporations or anyone who supported that. So we just need to get money out of politics. Money out of politics. No taxes for ranchers. No taxes for private farmers. No taxes for veterans. I don't know why this isn't a conversation in Congress. Because I would imagine that a leader that just had that as a platform would get a lot of support from states that are normally, your Midwestern states, your Southern states. And I'm not anti-business at all. There needs to be business. There's just, what is a billionaire using that money for? When corporations get tax breaks, really look at it. They're not, that money isn't going to their workers. That money is going to stock buybacks. That money is going to more lobbying, more power. Or it's just going into their bank accounts overseas, or, they're not putting it in bank accounts here in the United States because it gets taxed. They put it into the stock market. You know how they avoid taxes? They get stocks in their companies, and then use that non-tangible pricing as collateral to pull money out of banks, to take on debt, to get loans, because debt doesn't get taxed. You can't tax debt. That's how they don't pay taxes. Their income might be, like say Jeff Bezos, billionaire. His income might be like a couple 100,000, and everything else is, he gets stocks, and then he borrows money with using stocks, the stock price as collateral. That's how they're doing it. Those are options not available to us average Americans. The average American does not have the benefit of buying or getting stock options that they can turn around and say, hey, I have all this stock I can use as collateral. Give me a couple $1,000,000. Loan me a couple $1,000,000. Doesn't work that way. That's how the wealthy stay wealthy. Money out of politics, term limits, no taxes for private ranchers, no taxes for private farmers, no taxes for veterans. We need to start supporting more people that have that mentality. They're out there. We're out there. I'll support, I don't care what party you're from. You hold those, you don't bend the knee to anybody. You bend the knee to your constituency, and you hold those values. I'll support you. I don't care what party you're from. So, all right, everyone. Thank you for joining. Again, sorry about the two videos, but have a great one. Tell me your thoughts. Like I said, I respect everybody. I respect everybody's opinions. Everyone's got their own opinions. It's what makes this country great. But definitely be respectful to each other. We're more powerful together than we are divided. We have more in common than anyone really thinks. And the people that, pull each other apart, they're doing it because they know that. They know that we're less powerful. We have less ability to infect change in their plans for power together than we do apart. Let's get it done. Have a great day, everybody.